everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are going to be taking a look at Midweek Magic. They're giving us Historic Pauper. Probably one of the better times to do Historic Pauper. Well, Wilds of Eldraine not quite out yet, but then again, this is Historic. So actually, it's a better time for looking at all those Lord of the Rings cards before they finally go. And we actually do have a few of them in here, though not the ones that you normally think of. So we're doing Historic Pauper cycling, and it's kind of primarily themed around the Ikoria cyclers. Now, normally when we think of the cycling deck, we think of red-white, we think of Zenith Flare, but this is Pauper, so no Zenith Flare. And practically speaking, the ones that actually go for our opponent would be Dranet Stinger. So we're eschewing white here, and we're instead going for red-blue in this case. Now, we'll do some explanations as to why. But first off, our payoffs: 4 copies of Dranet Stinger, cycling randomly, doming our opponent for 1. 4 copies of Prickly Marmoset. We do need to have some creatures that can go face. We do have a few copies of Windcaller Aven. This one is a Modern Horizons card, but this one's mostly just to give evasion. But oddly enough, the surprise card here is Tolarian Terror. Almost all of the cards that we're cycling are going to be... Actually, all of the cards we're cycling are instants and sorceries. The only ones that are not are the Dranet Stingers and the 1 copy of Oliphant. So, Tolarian Terror is going to be easily... this is an easy way to get us down to the cheap without casting just cantrips. We can just pretty much cycle our way to that. Now, we do have the 1 Oliphant here because we do need to have a cheap mountain cycler. We do need mountains eventually. But we can get away with 3 copies of Lorien Revealed. Island cycling one's fine. We also have copies of Hieroglyphic Illumination. We do need to refill cards. We do need some removal, so there is Go for the Blood. And there are 4 copies of Fire Impulse. We do have 4 copies of Startling Development. We sometimes could get our opponent out of the blue with that. There's also 2 copies of Frostvale Ambush as a cheap cycler, but don't underestimate the tap target creatures and they don't untap. And there's also the Choking Tethers. Don't underestimate this also, especially if our opponent is going all in on 1 creature. This is a very good way to stall them out. And also our lands, well, a good number of our lands also cycle. We are running the usual Swiftwater Cliffs. We're running some copies of Prismari Campus as well because we... Believe it or not, we actually can still get flooded on lands here. I'm wondering if I should be like say cutting more lands in order to make room for more cyclers. We are kind of like at 22 lands. I've seen some decks can go all the way down to 19. I'm starting at 22, pretty much from a comfort perspective. But if you feel comfortable going for aggressive cycling, we do have plenty of room, like 2 more copies of Frostvale Ambush. You can cut, that's 2 lands you can cut there. You can add another Oliphant or another Lorien Revealed. You can cut more lands that way. We'll leave that for you to decide. But for now we're gonna give this one a go and let's see how it pans out. You still need to hit your lands, so that is kind of an important detail there. Also, as I'm doing this, I'm finally starting to try to make an attempt to recover that old hard drive after a long time. I kind of gave up several times because it was really bad. So this one, I really don't want to keep this. I guess we do keep this. We just go. We keep this. We start cycling early. We'll most likely cycle the Frostvale Ambush first. Double Prickly Marmoset is not looking good unless I draw a 3rd land. We do have a few lands that come into play untapped, but not. Also, we do need to start loading. Okay, there's actually 1 land that ETBs untapped, and there's another one. So, I don't know what our opponent's up to, but I'm going to start unloading these because these are the more expensive ones. If they have counter spells, I want to start getting them out of our opponent's deck. Removal spells, probably likewise. Opponent also a cycling deck. Looks like we came to the same conclusion, though. Okay, instead of going Fiery Impulse, they most likely went for Frostbite. So that is quite respectable. So I'm just gonna ping our opponent a little bit here. Opponent goes for the Falcon Abomination. Okay. Now, probably not. Since I'm probably not gonna cycle, I'm just gonna dump the Fiery Impulse, take out them Flyer. Also, just realized that I'm hearing Western music on the background now. Well, it's Amonkhet. Yeah, it's kind of closer to Egyptian. It's not the Western team, so to speak. Okay, somehow we put them on hold. Now I do want to just play the Dranid Stinger and get things through, but I'm gonna start swinging a bit here. Because our opponent seems like they're really waiting. Okay, there's a Startle, makes a token, draw a card. Guess we can cycle this instead. Now, opponent probably has a burn spell for the other Prickly Marmoset. Oh no, they don't. And yeah, let's cycle one more. And yeah, we'll stop there. Okay, I actually don't know what our opponent is playing at. I thought they had a cycling deck as well. That looked interesting, but okay, some cards from Innistrad. They have to have a major plan. This can't be it. Opponent's gonna dome us for 4. Okay, that's a given. I could have Choking Tethers, but opted not to. I actually kind of want to save it for whatever. Whatever's tapped instead. Also, normally I would be scared of like a token combo, but looks like our opponent's not running that. Opponent has to have something in response. Like a bounce spell or something. Okay, they're coming up with responses now. Zulaport Duelist, sure. I actually considered this for like a mill deck. That was one plan I had in consideration. Okay, mill the Lorien revealed. We'll cycle Choking Tethers to keep this from blocking. Also, yeah, tap the creature. Let's see what we draw out of this. Startling Development on backup, but we're probably... I'm surprised our opponent hasn't shown a burn spell yet. Okay, now... Yeah, we have to do this one first. Probably could have... yeah, probably could have waited for our opponent to show... Yeah, they probably have a burn spell incoming. In which case, I'm not gonna push through with the last one. Yeah, Demon Bolt. Yeah, no way to protect that. That's fine. There's our cheap Tolarian Terror. I guess I could yeah, I'm gonna now start dumping this one, just so that I can get our Tolarian Terror down easily. Now I kind of regret playing this one, because if our opponent has a Tolarian Terror of their own, I would want a way to fly over it. Berg Strider. Tap. Doesn't untap. Okay, sure. So I could play this and have one cycle. So I'm gonna actually do that. The monkeys are getting through. I would not be surprised if our opponent has yet another burn spell. That it is what it is. We actually have options here. I can either block and go for damage, or just go for the cycle. Block and go for damage might not be the worst idea here. But I don't think our opponent's gonna attack at all. Yeah, they're gonna slip. So there's our Granite Stinger. One is forced to block Falcon Abomination to have multiple blockers. Sure. So snipe it with Fire Impulse. Oh, they did have all the Falcon Abominations. So both of these guys are gonna get blocked. That's fine. I am going to wait for blocks here. Opponent has to block both. They cannot risk me. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle this one. I want to leave an option where I can play the Granite Stinger. Okay, and since they're both blocked, we can. So Tolarian Terror, Granite Stinger, I guess. Though I am opening myself up a bit here. Opponent now needs to have even more blockers now. Yeah, I'm honestly not a fan of the Incidental Decayed Zombies plan because none of them can block. Yeah, I feel like our opponent's deck really... Ooh. Okay, but yeah, I think our opponent's deck is really more like a cobbled up one. I honestly would not recommend that. Even though it's Pauper, I recommend that you come in with a full game plan. Don't just cobble up things together and hope they stick. I guess if you're a starting player, that might be what's happening. But even for the most part, you should have a good number of commons that you can cash in. Now, Historic is going to be one of the hardest ones to decide whether to cash in or not. Also, do I have that art for that Nazgul? I might, and did I craft copies for that one? I'll figure it out. That's a way to burn uncommons, I guess. Anyway, let's keep going with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna check if I already have that extended, if I have 4 copies for that one already. If not, I'm just gonna craft 4, just get the full one. I already have an extended art Nazgul already from Arena. Okay, this one's super awkward. I would have preferred if one of these was a dual land. So most likely Forgotten Cave, we're gonna open up on Fire Impulse because there's a tendency for these decks to be very aggro, and we can cycle the Lonely Sandbar. I am not gonna wait. And most likely I cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination because I don't know if I'm hitting my third land. Okay, life gain. This might be a while. Okay, we did hit a land. Unfortunately, it's tapped. We're gonna have to do this the long way. I'm actually wondering because Ajani's Pridemate is oh, Celestial Unicorn, that's a common. Okay, so we might be in a bit of trouble here. Because like I would need to play this. Play my 4th land, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the one caveat of this. You have a lot of tap lands. Now that said, I can I might be able to get one of these unawares. Let's see, I think our opponent respects this. Yeah, our opponent respects that. So we're gonna... Yeah, we cycle this. Hopefully, Oliphant. That's actually a good one. So So we can cycle that, grab ourselves a mountain that we desperately need. Now I can keep going and cycle one more time, but I kind of want to pause on that one. We'll take this. We'll hit with the 6. We'll play our second Prickly Marmoset. Because I'm suspecting our opponent is going to want to start swinging. Okay, they have a swift response. Okay, they're gonna just start swinging. Sure. Yeah, my fear is that we would eventually run out, but so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swing first. Cycle to give this flying. Hopefully our opponent does not have another one of these, because that would be a problem. Okay. Still cycling because we need to draw. I'm gonna eventually stop until I can hit go for blood mana. 1. So let's see, 11. Oh, our opponent did not block this one. Oh, they might have. Yeah, they have a swift response. Sure. So this is sorcery speed, so I am not getting away with that one. So I'm just gonna let. Yeah, I forgot I did. So that's fine. But now to make sure we don't die. There is an argument for doing that first. So now we need to find a way to survive. Starting Discovery does not do it. I probably should cycle the Forgotten Cave also. Go for blood, but I need the creature first. I'm probably not going to have the mana left. And nope, it's good game. But opponent incidentally had the right cards there. So there is an argument for cutting the number of lands there. I guess our mistake was taking out the Healer's Hawk right away. I assumed it was an Aura's build. The correct play was to just wait. Was to take out the Impassioned Orator. That was the thing card we needed to take out. We would have been able to take out Healer's Hawk anytime. Live and learn. Live and learn. Also destroy target. I guess destroy target tap creature at 2 mana. Yeah, that was fine. We kind of went all in there. I think the correct play was to actually wait on it a bit. Anyway, we're probably gonna play Cave on turn 1 because I want to leave the option to play. Actually, I could play Sandbar turn 1, play Mountain turn 2, so I can hold up Fiery Impulse and Hieroglyphic Illumination. Okay, there's a Prismari Campus. Kind of have to play this first still. So the question is, what creature does our opponent play, and is it 2 toughness? Because the alternate plan I can do is, okay, Belscard Goblin. Okay. Gonna go Frostveil, cycle the Frostveil Ambush here. Go for the blood. So I'm gonna play out the Prismari Campus. I could play out Drannith Stinger. Opponent probably burns it, but I'd rather have a creature down right now. There's an argument for like having more non-ETB lands. Like I could cut down, say, the Prismari Campuses there. But though I did say that, yeah, we could cut down some of these to have more cyclers. That's one way around it. Opponent running the Thin Street Cadet when it okay, probably a burn spell too. I'm hoping not, because at least I could go for blood. Rohirrim Lancer. Oh, into a shop. Of course they had the burn stuff. So I'm gonna actually want to save one of these for drawing 2. Oh, we're drawing all our hieroglyphic illumination, so there we go. This is the one weakness of the deck. You still need to actually land something on board. Or else reinforcements. Ooh, this might be the Convoke style deck. Okay. So in that case, yeah, we'll cycle Go for Blood. I kind of want to see what else we hit. Okay, we hit the Prickly Marmoset. Yeah, we can cycle Illumination. I guess the correct one was to cycle Tethers, but I had no idea. So we'll take 2. Sure. So there's a Wingcaller Aven. Play Marmoset. I can still hold this up, so I'm gonna wait. Opponent might have. Ooh, target creature can't block this turn. So I'm gonna swing first. Gonna cycle 1, see what we hit. Another Prickly Marmoset. Yeah, I think our opponent is cards out here, so we're gonna start dropping the Marmoset train. Opponent's starting to flood a bit. I'm assuming they have at least a meeting of minds. I think I'm trying to remember if Stoke the Flames is an uncommon. If it's a common, that's actually Burn Bright. Nice. So we take a bit of damage here, but not enough to kill us. So question is, how do we survive this? Because our opponent's gonna will most likely cast Burn Bright at instant speed, so I would have to. I'm actually gonna just go no attacks and pass. I'm gonna wait. Goblin Tunneler can't block. Okay, sure. So this allows me to just cast Hieroglyphic to just draw 2 cards straight up and see what happens from there. Now I need to cycle 3 times. Ooh, one is swinging with all. That made absolutely 0 sense. Well, I guess our opponent is probably thinking that they can just Goblin Tunneler their way out of this. Okay, so here. So first, Choking Tethers exists. Tap creature. Cycles Cave. Yeah, no respect. Though then again, in fairness, I also did not have much respect earlier, so that was kind of my fault there. And there we go. 16 damage out of the blue. Yeah, opponent concedes. So, yeah, you can. Yeah, no respect for the Marmoset. That is not bad. Let's see if we can get at least another win or so. But I am really liking the concept. It pretty much works here. Let's see, 4 wins. Yeah, we had we did lose that one game to mono white. That was actually, yeah, we did make a critical misplay there. The Orator was the biggest deal there, and I did not save removal for it. In hindsight, I think the correct play was to, no, if I had the Magistrate, I should have just fought immediately. Ugh, yeah. I'm gonna mull this. This is definitely better. We definitely want the Tolarian Terror. So I'm gonna give up the Go for Blood. So turn 2, cycle Illumination. Opponent going kiln feed. So this is the other way to, this is the normal other way to do instants and sorceries. And this is probably going to be a Demon. Okay, but our opponent is... Now, this does not buff power, so we can block the kin field easily, but not the... But not the Festival Crasher. So Marmoset 1. If our opponent has the removal to back this up, and they usually do, we're in real trouble. Let's see if they have the removal. They usually do. Because this is one of the fastest ways to get wins actually also. Reckless Impulse. There's a Crash Truce, so... Okay, opponent might have a way to give first strike. We'll find out. Oh, Barge in. That does it too. And it gives Trample as well. Yeah, we won't have... Between this and the next one, we won't have a decent defense. That was... Yeah, we're not gonna win this one. Wait. I might as well cast this. Yeah, opponent, this is the correct way to build this, I guess. Having the additional barge in effect. The opponent, yeah, plays a land. Do they have the removal or not? They might have another barge in which case, yeah, that's an auto concede. Yeah, Crescendo gives enough toughness. I needed to have one more mana to make the first strike relevant. I guess 22 lands is not so bad after all when you consider that it is still possible to fall way behind on mana. Okay, it is what it is. Let's keep going. I still want to get a few more games of this. Hello. Mama o tua tsai to la ya. So gua baka boe tilo. In hindsight, maybe that was not so... Well, actually not so bad. Because we can Swift Water Cliffs, cycle Oliphant to hit our third land. Then we can either go for Marmoset or Stinger Cycle, but most likely Marmoset. Alanis Marmoset. Opponent is taking their time. Yeah, having these cycle is very important because we do need to have a critical mass of cyclers. We are just accepting the fact that these entering the battlefield tapped is a very big downside. If there were dual lands that cycled, the closest we got were the triomes. Those cycled, but they're obviously rare. Yeah, I get. In fact, yeah, we do have dual lands that cycle. They're also rare. Yeah, it makes sense. So that I would have paid an arm and a leg for that. What's our opponent doing? Did our opponent just quit? Hold on, I'm gonna... Yeah. Okay, opponent showed up. Now the math changes if we hit an untapped source. I could just probably play Dranith Stinger right away. Opponent going Grim Initiate. Yeah, we're gonna hide this one for a while. So Darren Epicure. Opponent is the one. Might be the all one drops deck. Could also be a sacrifice deck. No, it's the all one drops deck. Okay. Now Marmoset might still bite the dust, so we have to keep that in mind. Our opponent probably has the mana to boast, so yeah, I guess we play Marmoset first. Let's force them to have their removal. Next turn we can just go. Next turn we can probably go Stinger. If we have an untapped source, I'd be happier because I can play Starting Development as a backup plan. Ancestral Anger, nice trample. Also, first strike on first strike is a way out of this too. Ginger Brute. If they pay. Opponent might have. Yeah, it's just they're just going for damage. For sure. So we now have the backup Stinger. And we're gonna have to play defensive while our opponent tries to keep crashing. Likewise, our alternate plan is we're probably gonna go for Blood the Fearless Pup. Yeah, their opponent's now starting to flood a bit. We can probably cycle Lorien to hit an island, because I might want to be able to play Stinger into another drop. Sure. I probably might... No, I think I take. Then, yeah, we cycle this, hit our island. Then we're probably going to start going for blood at this rate. Okay, Frostveil Ambush, that's also another saving grace, but we'll probably play this first. Opponent might have a way to pump, but could just also be a burn spell. Grimrock Knight. Okay, sure. That's one way to ensure the trade. That's one way to ensure the trades. Probably should have cycled in response, but we're gonna wait here. So opponent's down to their last card. Yeah, opponent can just pay to boast. We end up trading Marmosets. No real loss there. Until our opponent shows another one. Now we need to hold up Starting Development. Now, if our opponent has a burn spell, this would be really annoying. Okay, they don't. So, yeah, let's... Still not quite out of the woods yet. Our opponent can still keeps dropping creatures down. Also an art... Okay, we pass on this one because I might actually want to draw more than 4 cards here. Draw more than 2 cards here. Okay, Tolarian Terror for 2. So now our opponent's gonna... Now we kind of stonewall our opponent a bit. Opponent goes for Omen of the Forge. Sure. So another Rimrock Knight. The damage here is going to pile up, so we might actually have to play this as a creep. Oh, another Marmoset. Opponent has a way to draw cards. Nice. Yeah, this actually was a common. So let's see. Opponent's probably going to sack the Scry. Now note we have a way to give flying, but this is going to be a bit of an oddball one. We need to have a massive turn to make this happen. So right now I'm just sandbagging cyclers, so we can cycle 1, 2, 3. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, we need more. I'm hoping to encourage our opponent to attack. Even if it means they try to punch the Tolarian Terror. Now, if they have Burn, Voltage Surge, Sack, so they're going for the full 4 damage. I'm going... Yes. So... Let's cycle. See if we can hit one of our removal spells. Nope. Oh, there you go. So... So much for that plan, but we can still block. Now our opponent might have a way to pump, which is annoying, but I still have to do this. Yeah, they probably have the Rimrock Knight. So do I have a way to protect it? Let's see. Yeah, not quite. I think... Yep. First, Swiftwater Cliffs to not die. Something Discovery, Development. So I'm trying to hold up Go for Blood. Okay, no, we can't. We actually need to do that now. Oh, Tolarian Terror for 1. Opponent has a Ginger Brute. Wow, this is going to be so close here. Can't be blocked, sure. Yeah, in the end, all the damage added up. Now does our opponent... Nope. Opponent... Well, there's another Terror, but... Opponent might just have a burn spell to off us. I'm surprised they don't have a... I'm surprised they don't have a shock or whatnot, but yeah, this is gonna be... Well... Nope, we won't have enough to block. I'm just curious. Let's see what we got here. If that was an untapped land, I would have had a better chance. Nope, we did not. Yeah. So there is a clear weakness, which is super early aggro. Like, we ended up trading some early creatures, but our opponent just drew into a lot more, and they all added up. So yeah, it's not looking great, even though I did get this to work conceptually very early. I think it's probably also it's really the lack of creatures I think there are some additional creatures we can consider. There is a 3-mana creature that's similar to Prickly Marmoset. Whenever you cycle or discard, it looks for that one. There is that in blue. We can add those instead, but we run the risk of adding too many creatures. Now, the reason I'm keeping this is because we do have Fiery Impulse. Opponent signaling that they have burn, or at least cycling. Nope, sorry, wrong. Nope, I meant to play it like this. So we're gonna be cycling these cards really aggressively just to try to hit the rest of our drops. Yeah, we want to be able to start poking this, but we're most likely gonna start poking these two. Also, not having enough removal is an issue as well. So here is where I'm going to see if our opponent... Because as soon as our opponent has something that pumps toughness, I am going to fire off the Fiery Impulse. I say Flame Breeder... Shock. Now, I can poke this instead, but this deals a lot more damage over time. Also, opponent probably forgot to tap that. Definitely cycling this to hit our island because we really need that mana. But not hitting it quite yet. Yeah, admittedly, this is kind of a bit of an A plus B deck, though we have a lot more of A. I think there's also an argument that we should snipe this one right away because as soon as our opponent casts something, Ancestral Anger, okay, maybe not. We did get them to waste one card. Oh, our opponent also forgot to actually tap this. Okay. Yeah, you're supposed to tap those first. If you can't remember to tap those in response, tap them first. Okay, so now we have the Terror plan, and we can kind of go at and just to make sure we can preserve our life total. Now, we do run the risk of our opponent just drawing into another creature that we need to hold back for. But that pretty much cleared out most of them. Crash True. Now it's our opponent's turn to cycle, so to speak. Yeah, they're now just gonna go face instead. And no, they concede. As soon as our opponent was a bit suboptimal in using the Thermo Alchemist, but yeah, as soon as they were gone, we had it right there. Nice. Probably should also consider if there's, especially for, actually that's also a good question. I know Black has a Black is also another interesting addition we can consider. Like if I'm thinking about that that matchup with all the 1-drops. I'm gonna check red too, but I'm pretty sure it's just okay. I'm pretty sure it's just black. Okay, Scarab Feast. Yeah, Suffocating Fumes. Cycling 2 is a bit not so great, but we kind of have to accept that. Yeah, that I think it's only black is the only one that actually gives us that option. Raking Claws for a double strike, don't really need that. Also, we're gonna see every random Cyclops as well. control is... Yeah, we have a choice of Furnace Host Charger or Lava Serpent if we want for a cycling 2. Yeah, I guess if we wanted to have a mini board wipe, it's Suffocating Fumes. Now for red, let's see if there's deal damage to each creature. I think End the Festivities is one decent option we can consider. It doesn't cycle, but it is a way to clear the board somewhat. Let's see. Cast into the fire, though there are no real artifacts to look out for. Fireforge's Puzzle Knot is actually an interesting one. It does deal 2, though it's kind of expensive if you think of it. Fling, not so much. Yeah, because the ones that usually deal to each are very expensive. They tend to be at 3 or 4 mana. We're not. End of Festivities is the cheap one. Make Mischief makes it for Hungry Flames is actually a good one. Trying to see if I missed any on the 3 mana side. There is actually quite a lot of direct burn that you can go direct. Yeah, because the ones that you get are usually at 4 mana, like Cosmotronic Wave. I know there's another one aside from that. Radiating Lightning's kind of worse in this sense. Though it does deal 3 damage to the player, so that might help. Though I think Cosmo might usually be better in that case. Wrap in Flames. Yeah, at that point, just play Cosmo Wave at this point. Hazardous Blast. Also the same as Cosmo Wave in that sense. Yeah, it looks like if you're aiming for board wipes, if we need to have that, End of Festivities is also a good add, I suppose. Not often that you're going to run into that kind of deck, but it might be a good incidental addition. So that's something to consider. If I see yet another 1-drops deck, but Mono Red is actually well known for that. Mostly 1-drops, and they all incidentally have just 1 toughness. Okay, so this one definitely Campus, Cycle, Marmoset. Okay, we're keeping this one. Yeah. Oh, change of plans. It's Dranet Stinger turn 2, but this time we don't have the burn to support. Ooh, this is just birds now. Okay. So plan here is we want to drop Marmoset next turn. I don't know. Depends on what kind of birds our opponent drops, but yeah, we're probably dropping Marmoset next turn. Then we're just gonna unload Cyclers. Opponent is thankfully stuck on mana, so there is that. Yeah, I'll swing. Now, that would have been a good time for our opponent to drop a Zulaport Cutthroat. But it looks like they're on team when birds, so they might not have that. Yeah, it's just no, it's all flyers. Yeah, this works as flyers too. So we got Choking Tethers to buy us time. We'll probably cycle Lorien Reveal first because we need to hit our land drop. Now, if I want to swing, I probably use Choking Tethers, but I think I want to save it for the end. So I'm actually going to cycle the Frostveil Ambush first. See if I can hit. Yeah, let's see if they want to. Let's see how they want to trade. That is the expected trade. So what we do next is, yeah, let's go max damage here. is an olive font which we can use to set up our next mana drop. Now our opponent probably has removal for this, I assume. But that was a big drop, I guess. Opponent might also just hold back one. Ooh. Interesting plan. They're going for the big heals. I'm suspecting that they're going to hold back that one healer's hawk. So that means we can... Oh no, they're not holding back. They're going 12. So let's see. 2, 4, 6... 8. 10. So question is, do I land the oh no! I tapped the wrong... Oh no, it's the wrong one! Opponent now cannot safely... Opponent now needs to drop more creatures. They cannot just safely attack now. Even with lifelink. Yeah, we did make a big dent there. Ooh, if I... No, this one needed blue. There were a few that needed... Ah, okay. I guess there was a little disappointment there. Now, it's also bad if our opponent does have a way to remove Marmoset, so... Because that means I can't win right away, and I'll have to depend on Tolarian Terror to get through. Okay, flying creature. I could play this and start cycling just to get some extra damage through. Yeah, let's play that first. Because this allows me to get away with just one cycler and still have a creature if in case it fails. And there we go. Did not even... And we had the Tolarian Terror backup, but that was actually kind of scary. I was expecting our opponent to drop even more birds, but... The Dreamtail Heron mutate... Yeah, it buffed up the lifelink and all that, but I think our opponent got way too greedy there. We could have, with better mana, we could have actually gotten our opponent on that one. But we'll take what we have. That wasn't so bad. Yeah, there we go. I guess we can call that episode. That was a pretty close one. That's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Nice Steel Seraph. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Do take care.